Vehicle Maintenance 101, Things You Must Know. Since cars are machines, they require maintenance just like any other machine. For the majority of automobiles, routine maintenance starts around 5,000 miles and continues every 5,000 to 10,000 miles after that. Of course, inspecting your car more frequently is preferable. Compared to not doing maintenance, maintenance keeps your car operating smoothly and safely down the road for a significantly longer period of time. The maintenance that must be performed as well as when must be specified in your owner's handbook so that you are ready. But do you have to spend money on a mechanic to take care of the car maintenance? By following the suggestions below, you can take care of a number of simple vehicle maintenance tasks on your own. 1. Become familiar with your owner's manual. There is an owner's manual for every car. It's a big book that's usually hidden in the glove compartment. If you can't find your copy, you might be able to get an electronic copy online. If not, speak to your dealer to obtain a copy. Go to the section on the maintenance schedule with the manual in hand. Keep track of when to change the engine oil, the oil filter, the tires, the belts, the hoses, and other maintenance-related things. To keep the engine running as smoothly as possible, it's critical to adhere to certain manufacturer instructions. 2. Regularly check your tires. Your tires, and even the entire car, are under a lot of pressure. The tires on your automobile are what keep it moving forward on the road. To function correctly and reduce the possibility of a blowout, they must be adequately inflated. Once the tires have rested, check your spare tire and verify all pressures with a tire gauge while you're at it. 3. Perform regular oil and oil filter changes. Your engine's lifeblood is oil. It acts as a lubricant, preventing crucial engine components from rubbing against one another and wrecking the engine. Unregular oil changes can harm your engine because the accumulated impurities produce friction when they push against moving parts. 4. Change the air filter along with the oil. It's possible that you should replace the air filter once or twice a year. Your driving habits play a big role in this. When you replace your oil, it's best practice to check the air filter. 5. Examine all car fluids. Not all fluids, including motor oil, should be inspected. Checking your car's braking fluid, transmission fluids, coolant, and windshield washer fluid is advised by experts. You'll use a dipstick to check transmission fluid, just like you would for oil. By removing the corresponding covers and visually scrutinizing each, you may check the levels of brake fluid, coolant, and washer fluid. They ought to arrive at a predetermined fill line. Never check the coolant level by removing the radiator cap. If the cap is taken off, you run the risk of being burned. Check the coolant level in the transparent refill container nearby instead. 6. Check your hoses and belts. Examine the hoses and belts in the engine bay if you want to go above and beyond the basics of regular vehicle maintenance. To prevent the engine from overheating, these hoses direct the flow of coolant. Replace the hose if it has cracked, bulged, or detached. Examine the belts in the same manner. Your engine's operation depends on the timing belt, which is a component of the majority of automobiles and compact SUVs. If this belt exhibits wear indicators like cracking, glazing, or material loss, where pieces of the belt are missing, replace it right away. While driving, a timing belt failure can seriously harm the engine. 7. Constantly pay attention to brake issues. Every car needs brakes to function properly. Every time you drive, you should be conscious of the sound and feel of your brakes. A professional inspection is required if the brakes feel spongy or need more force to apply than usual. When maintenance or repairs are required, brake sounds can be heard. Here is a brief list of typical brake sounds. Squealing: the brake pads you now have are worn out and rubbing on the rotor when you hear screeching, thus it's time for new brake pads. Grinding: although this isn't a typical sound, it could not be a serious problem if the brake grinding only occurs on the first drive of the day. If the car isn't driven for a day during a period of high humidity, rust might develop on the brake rotors. Rust is being removed, which produces the grinding sound. Parking the car in a garage when it's snowing, rainy, or humid is a quick fix. Rattling: a rattling or vibrating sound indicates that one of the rotors needs to be changed because it is deformed or worn out. Intermittent sounds: brake fade from overheating may be indicated if brake sounds are intermittent. You may hear brake noises and feel less responsive braking when brake pads, rotors, or brake fluid become overheated. A specialist who can identify the root of the issue and resolve it should examine it. 8. Change the wiper blades as necessary. It's time for a new set if the windows or blades make noise while the system is running. In actuality, this is a crucial aspect of car maintenance. The windshield wipers are what provide you with visibility in a downpour. Check the wiper blades frequently because you never know when you might need them. 9. Remove corrosion from batteries. When it comes to the automobile battery, the essential necessity is to make sure the battery terminals don't corrode. Environmental conditions can result in accumulation that impairs operation, just like brakes can. Corrosion can be easily removed using a wire brush and a water and baking soda solution. You're well on your way to ensuring that your automobile keeps cruising down the road safely for miles now that you know the basics of auto.